Welcome to a special end-of-year episode of Reclaiming Home, Housing Justice with Urban Homeworks. Today, here our amazing staff members reflect on their hard work in 2023. I'm proud, so proud to work with this team and even more proud of everything we have accomplished this year. If you want to support our work in 2024, please make a donation at www.urbanhomeworks.org/donate. You know the drill. We cannot get this work done without you. So if you value our work in the community, if you value this podcast, please consider making a donation. And with that, let's get into it.
Hi, my name is Lydia Detweiler. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the executive assistant and office coordinator at Urban Homeworks.
What accomplishment from 2023 are you most proud of?
This is a really hard question for me to answer because there are a lot of accomplishments that I could point to in 2023, and I'm sure you'll hear from other folks. But I would say personally, I'm most proud of the relentlessness with which my colleagues have pursued this work. I say this to a lot of folks, but I've felt immense gratitude to know, learn from, and work alongside our staff.
I am proud of so many things from this past year. I am obviously proud of our first ever direct appropriation in our 28-year history. You know, this was the first time we ever asked for this kind of support from the government, and to be so well received, you know, it took a lot of hard work and diligence and consistency. And it's just great to have a victory after our first go. Did not have to be that way. So we're very aware of that. I'm also really proud of our hustle in community, our work with our North Side community as well as our South Side community. Both neighborhoods experienced this year different kinds of issues specifically around addiction, houselessness, and then, of course, gun violence continues to be something that our city is working through reconciling. And I just am really grateful and proud of how we responded to reclaiming space with our community, again, both in North Minneapolis, particularly on 21st Avenue, as well as in South Minneapolis, around like Franklin and Chicago, bringing communities together to say how they desire to reclaim their spaces. So not simply to complain or regurgitate or reflect the issues going on that we're all very much aware of, but actually to say, this is how I can contribute to the improvement of my community. And this is what the work that I'm willing to put in for that. And I think that empowering people, or rather giving people the platform to empower themselves, that is what I'm most proud of in 2023. I'm always proud of my team. I think the team did incredible work in their respective spaces. Like, this was the first year that Urban Homeworks was spotlighted in so many different publications and interviews and sat on so many committees and things like that. Like, folks are really coming to the organization for our perspective. That takes a lot of work that people don't see from our marketing and development team. And so major shout out to those folks. Also, you know, our real estate development team broke ground on 5 passive homes this year in North Minneapolis. So these are the first homes in North Minneapolis that are built for maximum efficiency. There are very complicated ways that I could use to explain that, but the important thing for you as the audience to know is that North Minneapolis, predominantly Black, Brown, Indigenous community, most incomes average at 40% of the city's area median income range. And we broke ground on the first ever homes that will not only be affordable to people, the purchase price will not only be affordable to the community members, but their utilities will essentially cost them nothing. So passing on maximum savings to a low-income community, and hopefully we will be able to continue to do that in the future. And shout out to the city of Minneapolis for having that clarity, because they really are a major partner in our ability to do that work. And so shout out to the city for their clarity on delivering like environmental support as well as social support in housing justice to North Minneapolis. I know that my colleagues will mention so many other things, so I'm going to stop there with those three big ones. What was the most challenging part of 2023? Be honest. And how will it shape 2024 for you?
The most challenging part of 2023, and I anticipate will be challenging in 2024, is the size of an urgency around housing injustice. So Urban Homeworks is staffed with less than 15 people, and we do the amount of work of a much larger organization, which means that all of us struggle to prioritize rest. There have been many conversations in 2023 around capacity and personal organizational health, which I really appreciate, and I do think will help us move into a more balanced 2024.
2023 was challenging because as you get opportunity, you're also being challenged, of course, to step up to those opportunities. And being in this sort of transitional space where we came into a new mission and vision that we'd been working toward for the last couple of years. We're still in transition as an organization. And I think part of the challenge for us collectively as staff is just being okay with that, kind of settling into the fact that we are trying something new in the field. We're trying something new in the world of nonprofits. And there are inevitable bumps along the road, things that don't feel great, things that maybe we even get wrong that we've got to be like, okay, back to the drawing board, start over. So I think that there's just like a natural challenge there. And then learning when and how to say no. It's really powerful to be invited so often to be a part of, to lend expertise. And we want to show up for our community with our community, but we are still a very small staff. And so part of the challenge of 2023 was really witnessing the impact of not having clarity on the no as an organization. And I think as an executive director, like that's a pretty vulnerable reflection that I'm sharing with you, audience. So hopefully you will take that as a recognition that I'm open about my learning. And that's part of the power of the work that we do as well. Shaping 2024, we're going into 2024 with a lot more clarity on where we're at. Sometimes you don't see yourself so clearly because it's new. Now we know, we understand the capacity that we have. We understand the asks and how the asks are going to often be greater than our capacity because people think that we're a much larger organization than we actually are. And it just really forces us to focus, I think, in really powerful, beautiful ways. We continue to work on our strategic plan in this year with our board and refining with our staff. And so really excited about, again, having such clarity around our direction and really having this framed focus given the learnings of 2023. So it's going to be another really exciting year. We're going to continue to grow and learn as quickly as we can, but also giving ourselves grace and compassion in the process. And that's always really exciting. What is your favorite 2023 Urban Homeworks memory?
Again, it's difficult for me to choose just a couple, but I would have to say I've really loved the opportunities to collectively celebrate our direct appropriation from the state of Minnesota, as well as the change in our mission and vision, both of which were really significant moments for the organization and the community at large. And then two, really any opportunity we had as a staff to just be silly and goofy and light together, such as at our fall retreat this past October.
I think for me, just what comes to mind initially is the news that we received our direct appropriation. That process is, it is a roller coaster. One of the wooden roller coasters, old school, that whips you around really fast, and you're kind of in that cart and you're like, is the cart gonna break? Or is the track gonna break? Because I'm hearing everything shake around, and then you're also kind of screaming because the hills are really quick and unexpected. That's the kind of roller coaster the legislative process was for us. We had no indication one way or the other if we were going to get that direct appropriation. More often thought for certain we did not get it. So when that news broke and we were able to celebrate, it was a pretty sweet moment with the folks in the office that day, just to recognize each other and to recognize like the years that it took to get here. The legislative session lasts a matter of months, but we knew this was years in the making. What surprised you about 2023, if anything?
So when 2023 started, we had no idea that we would be requesting a direct appropriation from the state of Minnesota for affordable housing development. I previously worked for the state, so it was kind of a fun surprise to spend a significant amount of the spring of 2023 in downtown St. Paul, and especially surprising, pleasantly so, to have experienced success during our first legislative session as an organization.
Surprises about 2023. I think there's always lots of surprises in the work of housing justice, especially as a real estate developer and a property manager. You're always being thrown something new because you're very much dealing with the human condition. And you're dealing with humanity, and you're trying to fight systems of oppression and injustice. So there's always a ton of surprises in that work. But I think that what was most surprising to me, simply because you never anticipate this, but just how much learning the year blessed me with personally. I would say, I think for the organization, but for myself as a leader, as the executive director, I've been pleasantly surprised with the learning opportunities that I've had. I learned so much from my team. They're forever teaching me things about perspectives and the world, and from their expertise. Yeah, and so I'm just, as we sit in this end of the year, I'm like, I have learned so much. And that is another thing I'm excited to put on the ground in 2024, is the growth that came out of this year. What are you most looking forward to in 2024?
I'm a little hesitant to say this, but I am looking forward to being surprised in 2024. So what I found is that this work and organization is incredibly dynamic, which means that change is really the only constant. So I'm looking forward to navigating that and continuing to bring about change in the housing justice world with my team. I want to challenge our audience to stay connected and to pursue new opportunities to participate in this work in 2024. Speaking from personal experience, if you're open to it, this work will inspire and ignite you in the best possible ways.
I'm looking forward to the level up. Like, I'm just gonna name it. There's a level up that happens when you go through really difficult transitions and you have like really intense moments of growth. You have the opportunity to level up, and it's all about how you respond to the learning, right? You could turn away, you could run away, you could get defensive, you could do all these things, or you could accept it as an opportunity to be a better version of yourself. And so I'm really looking forward to personally leveling up as an ED, and I'm also looking forward to the collective leveling up as Urban Homeworks. So really grateful to have you, audience, hang with us in the first year of our podcast. Hoping that you all are feeling as blessed to be on this journey with us as we feel to be on the journey with you. December, end of the year, end of 2023, a lot going on in the world, a lot that we're all carrying in our hearts, and blessed to know that we get to do this work together because it's work that needs to be done no matter what. So thank you all so much.